Yo, what up, though?
Dylan, dog. How are you?
Good, man. Can't complain.
Glad to hear it.
Living the
Glad
life.
to hear it. Yeah, man. Boys look good. Bright future ahead.
They, they definitely impressed. Know if anyone would have guessed that they would have finished the season out with a winning record and, you know, had Seattle, and having a fighting chance to get into the playoffs. I don't know if we
Hmm.
would have guessed that at the start of the season. So
I wouldn't think so, man. 1-6 to 8-2. That's like pretty freaking crazy.
yeah, they just got. I think biggest thing for them to really focus on next year is um, continuing. They just got to improve on the defensive end. I think they had third worst defense as far as from a scoring standpoint. So if we
It's the
could just
big
figure
move.
out ways to just get better on defense, um, I think we'll be good.
I'd agree,
So
man. Good steps, good culture. Hopefully make some good off-season moves. I think I might be a Lions fan now after just the Saints are just not looking like they're going in the right direction. So it might be Detroit for the time being, my man.
yeah, I gotta. Well, New Orleans they need to figure out the quarterback situation first. I think once they get the quarterback situation figured out, everything else will start to fall in because everything else is there. Honestly, I really feel like y'all have everything else. Maybe not the best corner group, but as far as like every other position, I think y'all pretty solid. Y'all just the quarterback is
But
a
like
big.
how could I even watch football anymore if Sean Payton comes back for another team? Like I can't. I can't do it. Like I don't want to hate Sean Payton. I will if he does that. So like it's just
How you gonna hate him if he do that?
Mo, you would too, man. If you had one of the best coaches in the league and then he just left for no reason and then a year later was like, all right, I'm gonna come back to another team. Like, dude,
Maybe, I mean, you just get tired of being in one place. You want to do something else. That
I
happens.
get it. It's just I don't
Yeah.
seeing him another
You plan on being at the company you working at now for the rest of your career?
for the foreseeable future. I get your point though. Like it's not personal. It's well, it is personal, but it's just for his own happiness. But just as a fan, man, like that's so hard. Like this is like a
I
smack in the face, you know?
yeah,
So
do that.
especially if he goes back to like Coach Russ or something like that. Like it's like ah man, Broncos country.
Listen,
They're gonna
that would
ride.
be funny, bro. That would never not be funny, dog.
I
That would
know.
be hilarious.
Fucking idiot. That fucking guy. Yeah, man, but we'll have to do that at some point today. We'll have to pull up the now that the seating set and kind of go over what we think.
Yeah, you can look at the playoffs.
Exciting, exciting. Do you know who the oldest quarterback is in the AFC playoffs?
I saw that, bro. Patrick Mahomes.
It's like
Like
what the
27,
fuck?
what is it, 27, 26, something
Yeah,
like that. Like,
27.
that's insane, bro.
How is that
Insane.
possible?
Insane.
Such a fun conference though. Just like, I mean, I guess any of them, but just when you got Allen, Tim, and Burrow, and those are like the three-headed monster. It's like I'm a fan of all of them, so it's like it'd be cool to see any of them go, you know. But
Mhm. Yeah.
mm, yep, yep.
The crazy thing that like really baffles my mind when thinking about like these quarterbacks. So you think about Stinson Bennett for Georgia. Shout out to Georgia, didn't win the championship. We'll probably talk about that. Dude, 25 years old.
Yeah, seriously.
Lamar are the same age.
I know it's weird how that happened.
World and Lamar are the same age.
It's
Lamar been in the
weird.
league for how long?
So what's the? I know that's what's weird. So what happened with him? Did he stay all 4 years, redshirt, and then stay like another year? Like how the fuck is he 25
So
and still?
he had a JUCO. He walked on, so I'm assuming he had a red shirt, and then he had the COVID year. So like
Ah,
that's
yeah, gotcha. Old ass man.
oh fuck.
Yeah. Well, you can't say that. I can say that.
Well, first of all, watch your mouth.
Oh man, I never really. I don't know if I said this to you last week, but I was watching the them versus Ohio State game, and I just started dying. I forgot that that was his name. I was like, that is the whitest fucking name I've ever heard in my entire life, bro. That is like 10 out of 10 White, copy
10
paper
centimeters
white.
apart. Like
Yeah.
everything about it. It's just yeah.
Yeah, man, for
He
sure.
definitely went to a private Catholic school.
Shout out to them though. I mean, that was a fucking ass whooping if I've ever seen one. I thought it was gonna be like that, but I didn't know it was gonna be that bad.
I didn't think it was either. Like, and I thought that TCU would be, would score
Hmm.
more than just the one touchdown that they got.
Yeah.
Like that, and I think that would have been the only team that would have happened to like that. Like
Hmm.
had Michigan played them, I don't think that would have happened like that. Would Michigan have lost? Probably.
Hmm.
Would they have gotten their ass whooped like that? I don't think that would have been the case, bro.
Oh,
Like that, I think that was the. I think one that Ohio State game really woke up Georgia and was like, bro, we can't play with this.
yeah.
They damn near lost it.
Exactly. They had to have pedal to the
Um,
metal, and they did, man. I
so
don't. They didn't let off that gas for 1 second, man.
they're talking about. Hold on, I think at some point somebody was like, they're just running up the scoreboard. Like one, it don't matter. It's the last game of the season. Don't nobody care. And two, it's not their job to stop themselves.
Hmm. Hmm. I don't know, man. That was crazy. 2 years back to back. I don't know what the. I mean, we can talk about this another time, but what the projections are looking like for next year. But like, man,
They
do they have a lot of seniors? Like, is that team going to return for the most part?
so they already released a ESPN already released a too early poll or too early rankings for next year.
Hmm.
I'm gonna give you the power rankings for it. I'm gonna give you the top 10 for next year so
Okay.
far. So I'm gonna go 10-1. So at 10 is Florida State. At 9 is Tulane.
Hmm.
8 is Washington. 7 is Penn State. 6 is Tennessee. 5 is Alabama. 4 is Ohio State. 3 is Michigan. Wait, oh no, these are the rankings. I'm sorry, I'm looking at the wrong thing. Those are the rank, the final pop. Those are the final
Oh,
rankings
okay. I was like, this
for this
sounds
year.
oddly
Okay,
like the rankings that
wrong
are going
thing.
on
I
right
don't
now.
know the wrong thing. Hold on, where is it at? Okay, here you go. Okay, my bad. So it was 10 is Tennessee. They got Tennessee has 6 offensive and 7 defensive starters coming back. 9 is Oregon. They got 6 offensive and 2 defensive starters coming back. 8 is LSU. They got 10 offensive and 5 defensive starters coming back. USC has 5. They had 7. They got 5 offensive and 7 defensive starters coming back.
Hmm.
Mainly, they got the Heisman Trophy winner. I think he's coming back, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I think he's returning for his senior year. Caleb is returning. Caleb Williams is returning. 6 is Penn State. They got 6 offensive and 7 defensive starters coming back. 5 is Alabama. They got 5 offensive and 5 defensive starters coming back. Of course, Bryce Young is going to the league. 4 is Florida State. They got 7 offensive and 9 defensive starters coming back.
Florida
So
State, huh? Wow.
I mean, they finished 10-3 this year.
Yeah.
So they got a pretty healthy amount of individuals coming back. So should be good. So that's 4. 3 is Michigan. They got 6 offensive and 8 defensive starters coming back. I think the biggest thing is that Quorum is coming back. And so that combo with him and Edwards is going to be pretty nice. The biggest thing is just figuring out a way to replace that O line. Like that O line was top tier this year, and so we'll see. 2 is Ohio State. They got 7 offensive and 7 defensive starters coming back. Biggest question for Ohio State is replacing C.J. Stroud. I mean, he's a first round draft pick, so
Yep.
like just replacing that, and then of course Georgia's number 1. They got 6 offensive and 6 defensive starters coming back. So
Right. Right.
yeah,
Can they do
that's
3 in a row? Has that happened?
I have I don't think we've seen it, especially not in the CFP.
That'd be crazy.
I
A
mean, could
three-peat?
they? Yeah, but I don't know, man. I don't know. I
I don't
mean,
either.
they probably gonna have the literally legit. They probably gonna have the best outside of maybe Caleb Williams, as far as like skill players. They probably got the best player in the country, in Brock Bowers, the tight end for Georgia. Like, dude is nice. Like
Yeah.
he legit.
Athletic as fuck.
if he could leave now, he would probably be a first round draft pick in the NFL.
Yeah, so
And he only
athletic.
has
Right.
dude is just like he could easily go play on Sundays right now. Like
Hmm.
dude is that nice. So they probably have the number one player, but I think it's just all about what happens at the quarterback position. So we'll see.
We will. We will, man. It'll be exciting. I don't watch enough college football to make a prediction on that, but even though I'm not like a Georgia fan by any means, it would be cool to see a three-peat. That would be pretty impressive.
It will be cool, but I'm a of
Obviously,
course root
yeah, your
for
team is a contender, so obviously you want to see
yeah.
that. Is it this coming season that it's the 8 or 12 team playoffs, or is it the season after this one?
It's next season, so it'll be the 2024 season. The
That'll
2024
be
2025 season.
that'll be so exciting. I'm really excited for
So
that.
that's season two when those Pac-12 teams come into the USC and UCLA, they come into the Big Ten
Mm-hmm.
as well. So like that's gonna be very, very interesting.
Yeah, well, Big Ten's getting spicy, man. That'll be cool.
Oh, and then I think if I'm not mistaken, is that the year or is it next year? When does Texas and Oklahoma go to the SEC?
I don't know.
I don't know if it's this upcoming year or 2024, but yeah, the shakeup of these conferences is it's gonna really.
Is Notre Dame staying independent, or are they going to a
Yeah,
conference?
no,
Or?
they're staying independent.
Mm,
So I
for
don't know,
Notre
but
Dame.
yeah, I mean, I will say the bowl games, like there were some really good ass bowl games this year. Um, and those semifinal games, those are probably some of the best semifinal games I think we've ever
Oh
seen.
yeah, between the both of them.
Like both of them were tightly contested, down to the wire. You know, you had your upset with TCU beating Michigan and stuff like it was just some really dog games. So yeah.
What's the greatest college football game you've ever seen? Like, just what's the first one that comes to your memory?
Ooh, immediately I jumped to like that Alabama Auburn game with the kick six.
That was crazy.
Like I'm just because of the way that it ended, I think that was
Yeah, and that
yeah,
was when Alabama was like they fucking lost. Like that was crazy.
yeah, that for sure was probably one. And then, but one of my favorites, I think, and I forget what I think it the USC Texas
That's my number one. When
championship
Vince Young
game
ran in
where
the
they went to like
touchdown at the
three
end.
overtimes, wasn't it?
I don't know about the 3 overtimes. I just remember Vince Young. I was so young, but it's just it was when Reggie Bush was on
That was a
USC.
dog ass.
Yeah,
That was
and
a
Vince
dog
Young ran
ass.
in the touchdown at the end. That's my number one ever. And then both of mine were from when I was young. When State, I don't even think this is just a regular season game when they ran that Little Giants fake punt against Notre Dame. Do you remember that?
Oh yeah,
That
yeah.
as a State fan, that was crazy. It was so late. It was like a night game. That was a really cool one. But yeah, that USC Texas game, man.
Yeah,
Shout
that
out to
was
Reggie Bush. You see, he made it to the NCAA Hall of Fame,
as he should though.
as he should still have his Heisman, but whatever. That's like another.
That part, like
Yeah,
dude, bar none is one of the top college football players ever to play the like ever.
dude, he averaged like over 7 yards a carry. Like, you know how
Dude,
insane that is? He averaged 8 yards a carry his senior year.
was dude was unbelievable in college, man.
Yeah, yeah, man. What
You
a
would have to
crazy
rank
shit.
Reggie up there, probably like top five running backs all time in college.
You think? Yeah, I mean, yeah, for sure,
Like
bro.
the stats and just what he did. Like you talking about punt and kickoff return. Like
Oh, everything.
he was sick, bro.
Fucking everything, man. Yeah, he was a fucking beast. I had to put Adrian Peterson up there too, man. God, when he was in college, that dude just,
I mean, it was a lot of. I mean, you
I
got
know. Even going back, like OJ was an insane college running back. Like,
Dickerson, Tomlinson.
yeah.
Like there was some Ricky Williams. Like
Yeah, Ricky Williams.
there was
Man.
some dog running backs in college, but I think Reggie, you got to put Reggie Bush up there, bro.
Right.
He
I
too
mean, he
nice.
was so good that his NFL career was still like decent, but like he was just so good in college that it almost made it like a disappointment how he played
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
NFL. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, yeah, for
crazy.
sure, for sure. I think the thing when you think about Reggie when him going to the play or going into the pros is when he got rocked.
Oh
You
yeah, that
remember
Eagles
that?
player. Yeah. Oh yeah, I do, bro. Yeah, yeah,
When
I
I think
do.
what did he catch a pass out of the
Yeah, I think it
backfield
was
and
Brian Dawkins, one of the Eagles
picked
linebackers, fucked him up.
him up?
Yeah, yeah, that was a bad play. He had a good run though, man. Like people kind of say he was like a bust, but it's like, man, their
No,
Super Bowl year. Obviously, I'm a Saints Superman, so this is just off the dome. Like I remember that whole playoff run. Like they had a first round against the Cardinals. He had 2 touchdowns in the NFC Championship game against the Vikings. He had a touchdown. Like he played pretty well. He was pretty pivotal to that team winning that
yeah,
that
yeah.
Super Bowl. And then
People
when he came
sleep
to the
on.
Lions, he had 2,000 yard rushing seasons. He had one
Yeah,
for
I think that
Miami.
he gave us one of our first 1,000 yard rushing seasons since we had
Yeah, it was a
Barry.
long
Like,
time.
you know what I
Yeah,
mean? So you can't sleep on that, man.
yeah, pretty good, pretty good. I'm about to pull up this list, or I wonder if they like if we can just read it, or I wonder if there's like a graphic I can pull up to show the NFL playoffs. Let's see here.
I think there may be a actual graphic that shows.
Sure, find something. Let's see what
So
we got.
while you pulling that up,
Uh-huh.
who's your MVP?
Mahomes, for sure. I was thinking about that today, and I was just like, the most yards ever in a season. They have the best record. Like I don't really know if there's even like,
Yeah, I would agree. I would say had Hurts not got injured, I
uh-huh.
think you could have made a serious
Yeah,
consideration.
for
He was
sure.
fucking balling, bro. I think you could make a serious consideration for him as well. And then I want to talk about something too once we get done looking at these playoffs.
For sure, for sure. Mark it down. Where's the Super Bowl this year? Is it Miami?
Yeah,
This graphic makes it looks like it's Miami.
I
Let's take
think
a
so.
look. I feel like it's always in Florida.
No, last year I was in LA.
Like, look at this graphic. Doesn't that look Miami-ish?
No, that don't look Miami-ish.
That
That look
LVII?
that look
Miami.
very Arizona-ish with the graphics. It would kind of look like the
It is in Arizona. What am I talking about? It's here. I'm so stupid.
yeah. If you don't know your background, just say that.
I knew what triggered it is the gray background. That's the State Farm Stadium, and that's what just triggered it. But yeah, I knew that. Duh, it's gonna be popping here in a month, bro. They have the Waste Management Open and the Super Bowl in the same weekend, so like it's gonna be
Mm.
insane. Yeah,
All
fucking
right.
okay, my man. NFC or AFC? Where you want to start?
Let's start on the left side. Let's go with the AFC.
All right. So weird the Jaguars are in there.
No.
Um, That's tough, man. You know what's weird about this is like if we started the season today and you didn't know anything and they just threw these teams out there, I would say the Chargers are going to whoop them. Like even if I didn't know their seeding.
Yeah.
And now I'm like the Jags have played really fucking good their last like 7, 8 games, but
Um,
I'm still going to say the Chargers.
I'm going with you. And the thing that has me a little bit hesitant is that I know that the Chargers don't have everybody back on defense,
Hmm.
right? Like I don't believe Khalil Mack is back, is he?
I don't
Like,
think
I think
so.
he's still maybe out injured, but I'm still going to go with the Chargers as well. I think that just the quarterback play is where Herbert is just. Granted, what's name has come a long. Trevor Lawrence has come a long way
He
this
has
year, and having um, having Peterson there to kind of help with his maturity has helped a ton, and you can see the growth. But Herbert's at another level, bro, and I think the weapons he has. Yeah, I'm going with the Chargers.
Yeah, you're right. I think Eckler was like the all-purpose yards leader this year. Obviously,
Oh,
we know
was he?
Keenan Allen's a beast. I think he was all-purpose. I know Josh Jacobs was just straight rushing, but I think Eckler had most receptions or reception yards and rushing yards. I could be wrong, but he's definitely up there. He's a dual threat for sure. Keenan, excuse me, Keenan Allen's great. They got some good weapons over there. I agree. And I think the Chargers defense is better than the Jaguars defense. So
Yeah,
we'll see.
yeah,
Um, I think Bengals win by at least 10 points. Like I don't even think that's going to be like
yeah. I think the Bengals will end up winning. Doesn't look like Lamar's going to be back.
if he
Uh,
was, would it change for you? I
it
don't
would, it
really.
would.
You'd have them winning if he was back?
I don't know if I would have them winning, but Lamar, like, do you know that like Lamar against the Bengals between him and Burrow, Lamar has a winning record against them.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if they have the defense to really set up to really stop Lamar in like the running phase of it. but he's not healthy, so he's not going to be there. So I will go with the Bengals. I mean, I think they're hot right now, and plus I want to see that Bengals and Kansas City matchup.
Me too.
I
Me
mean,
too.
we're not going to get that, but I do want to see that. So,
I know you've been high on the Ravens since we started the pod, which, by the way, shout out, we're in January now, so I think we're like 2 years in. That's pretty crazy. That's
it
wild.
is.
Yeah, that flew, man. 60 plus episodes in, fucking 2 years. But anyways, you've been high on them. They've been like your dark horse Super Bowls for like a couple years now.
But they can't. Like Lamar just can't stay healthy.
I just think they're fraudulent, bro. Like they've always got an amazing defense, but like especially this year, I understand Lamar wasn't there to put up points for them, but all their wins are just like bullshitty, like 13-10 wins where they didn't fucking score any points. And I'm like, they just look like
Once he goes out, they just get like this, and then I don't know why. What is taking them so long to kind of figure out this receiver shit?
yeah, they need to draft someone or trade for
Like, I
someone
don't
or
understand
something.
why does it take you so long to find a receiver, bro?
Well, they always have just been like a run first offense. You know what I mean? Like they've never really put emphasis on that. It's always like Lamar and then running back by committee, and they run the ball 7 out of 10 plays. Like it's a very weird system that they got.
Right,
But Lamar can throw.
they never added the dynamic of having like a dynamic receiver to
Right.
kind of shift the focus a little bit and kind of to where it's not a 70-30 thing, maybe it's a 60-40 thing.
Mm-hmm.
Right? They've
Mm-hmm.
never done that with the offense because they never had a receiver to do that with the offense.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, they had some solid receiver shit back in the day when they won. I think the last Super Bowl was 2012. It was like Ray Lewis's last year. Remember they had like Anquan Bolden. He was older, but then they had like Torrey Smith. He was pretty good.
Lamar was like in high school.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying, like back in the day when they won, they were more of a pass first.
But I just since Lamar has been there, they're like I don't
Nah,
like
you're right.
seem to figure out how to draft a fucking receiver or go get one in free agency.
I know. Everyone's like Bateman. I'm like, nah, dude, that's not.
Don't get me wrong, Bateman's a nice, but he's not. He's not the receiver.
He's
Like
not
he's a
it.
good complimentary one, but he's not that guy.
Yeah. Some people just command, like, yeah, he's not that.
Right.
For sure.
Right.
For sure. So I'm with you. Bengals, I think at least by 2 scores. I don't think it's going to be, I'm not going to say it's a blowout, but I think like it could be relatively close, but I don't see it being like a tight game at all. But we'll see. All right. Bills, Dolphins.
It's Bills. I mean, Tua's not playing.
What was he
Or
not?
wait, yeah, didn't they say he's not going to play?
I don't know. It wouldn't make a difference to me, but
I think it does make a big difference if he's going to.
you keep saying that, but again, would you change your pick if
I don't think he's going to be there, but it does make a difference because he. Granted, we know he like before we knew that he doesn't have a great deep ball, but like that has completely shifted this year. And the way that they look offensively when he's in the game is completely shifted from when he's not there.
I get your point, and they actually did beat the Bills earlier in the season. I mean, they looked pretty
They
good in the
did.
beginning. But again,
So,
even if he was there, it wouldn't change my pick. They've just been so all over the place. I think Bills handle that one easily.
but yeah, I mean it's a tight game, but yeah, I would give it to I'd give it to the Bills.
Okay, Chiefs, Chargers. I'm pretty confident in the Chiefs there. Like, I don't think it's.
This is the thing that makes me nervous about this is because like it's not like the Chiefs have like actually blown the Chargers out or anything
No,
at any point this year.
no. And I have serious, just like scares, or I have serious fears relating to their defense. I just don't see them not winning a playoff game. So I think they'll handle their business in the first round after the bye.
Like
But I'm scared for the next round for
like
sure.
both games, the Chiefs won by 3 points.
But you have the Chiefs winning.
I'm gonna go with the Chiefs, but
It's hard not to, right? Like it's just like
it really is hard not to. But as you like that,
like that's a bold take to be like Chiefs are losing like first, like you know what I
it
mean?
is a bold take, but like that defense, we know that defense is porous. I shouldn't say it's porous, but like they don't show up all the time, and then they're so reliant on Chris Jones to like create havoc, and they're missing that other dynamic. I would be more confident if they still had Honey Badger. I would be much more confident in that pick if they still had him.
Hmm. Yeah, they don't look good, man. The defense, it's just it's rough. I think they can outscore the Chargers. Like to your point, they didn't do it by much in the regular season, but I'm just not worried in the first round. But Obviously, we're about to get back to them a second in the AFC Championship game, but I'm pretty solid in the Chiefs' ability just to outscore the Chargers in this one.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
I
I get
mean,
that.
sure they'll hang them 35 plus on them or something and, win in a shootout, if anything. All right, Bills, Bengals. That is a tough game and an exciting game.
It
That's going to be
is. That's
really
a good
cool.
game to watch for sure.
Especially with the DeMar thing, like we were just supposed to watch them play, and then, you know,
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Bengals. And I know it's like what, but I think they're just hot right now. And if I'm not mistaken, the game's not going to be in Buffalo. And I think having a neutral site for that game is going to
mhm.
be the difference maker. And so I'm gonna stick with my pick with the Bengals. I think
Dang.
with the Bills um missing oh, why am I drawing a blank right now? Um
Who missing who? Bengals or Bills?
the Bills, the edge rusher.
Oh, fucking Jesus.
You see what I'm saying? I can't think of it right now either. Why am
That's
I
his
drawing a
name. He's a legend. God, this is really bad.
Von Miller?
Von Miller. That's so embarrassing.
That's so
Damn.
bad. So bad.
Wow.
We need yeah. But with them missing him, I think that's going to prove to be a difference maker because not having somebody that can like constantly bring pressure all the time, especially put pressure on that Bengals offensive line that we know
Mhm.
is gotten better, but it's still not super strong. Um, that's kind of the thing that I think is going to really be the game changer, and then the
Mhm.
neutral side. So I think it's going to have to be. I'm going with the Bengals.
It's going to be interesting either way, assuming that our picks are correct to this point. Like, there's not a wrong scenario for me. Like, I'm so excited, like, for the storyline either way. If the Bills win, then it's like the Bills and Chiefs again, which has been like the storyline of the last couple postseasons, like, right? And then if the Bengals win, they beat the Chiefs in the playoffs last year. So, like, that's also just
Yeah,
like
they
such a
beat them
good,
the last three times that they played.
yeah, yeah. So that'll be crazy. And this is the thing too, is like I feel like the Bills look like the best team in the league some days, and then other days just get like completely exposed. So it's like it's tough, but I'm gonna go with the Bills. I'm gonna go with the Bills, and it's hard because I love both those teams. So it's not even just like I want one or the other. Like I said, I feel like the storyline will be really cool either way. But if I'm a betting man, I'm going Bills. I feel like their D, like you said, they did lose some pass rush, but they got a pretty decent secondary. Their whole defensive unit's pretty solid. Josh Allen just does Josh Allen things, like he's elite. So we will
Yep.
see, man. And I'm just worried. The Bengals D has gotten better over the last year. Like they have some good pass rushers and like Trey Hendrickson, I think his name is, and stuff like that. But
Yeah,
like
crazy. Yeah,
they give up some suspect plays sometimes. So
they
I
do.
don't. Yeah,
They
we'll
definitely
see.
do.
We will see. All right. Should we do the AFC Championship, or do you want to do the other side and then do the two AFC or the two championship
Yeah, let's do
game?
the other side and then come back to the
All right.
championship.
I'm excited for this because I got some takes that I'm sure you're going to be like, what the fuck? So first of all, Mo Nelson, I will bet my whole life savings the Bucks beat the Cowboys. That is going to happen. I'm just letting you know now. In Tampa Bay, fucking fool's gold Cowboys against Tom Brady, who's been doing his thing all year. Just the old man. They're going to win. So just you can agree with me or not. I'm just letting you know what's going to happen.
I I'm inclined to agree with you actually on this. I think just them being at home and last couple of games, that connection with Brady and Mike Evans
Yeah, they got it
has
figured out.
started to like it's starting to pop off. And I I think yeah, so I don't think it's gonna. I think I'm just waiting for if they lose that Monday after. I'm tuning in to First Take,
Oh my
and
God, bro.
I get that. I know Stephen A. is going to be so obnoxious with Michael Irvin,
Hmm. Oh yeah,
but
and
I agree.
undisputed, man. See Skip
Oh,
Bayless just
yeah, with
crumble.
Skip and Shannon.
Have you been watching them recently, man? Like I think that show's not going to last much longer. Like
Yeah, we'll
Shannon's
talk
getting
about
fed up
it.
about Skip shit. Yeah, we'll get back to it, but
Yeah, we'll
that
get
man.
into it. But yeah, I will go with the Bucks on this one as well. I
Okay.
agree with you. Yep.
You think it's close? Like I can see it being a totally
I do
like
think it's close. I do think it's close. I
yeah, I
do
think
think
it's
it's
going to
close.
be a picturesque Brady game. Cowboys might get up like 17-3 or something like that or 21-3 and then like Brady's going to do his usual thing in the second half and they're going to
See,
I
I think
just
it's gonna be the opposite. I think the Bucks are gonna get out early, and then the Cowboys are gonna start to come back. But then Brady's gonna have that one last drive to kind of
okay.
seal it
All
up.
right.
So
Yeah, I
yeah,
think it'll be a one-score game.
for sure.
Yeah. I don't think it just Giants have been a weird team. Like I don't not like them. I'm kind of a fan of them. It's been fun watching them this year. I just think I don't know if it's been ease of schedule or like their D's helped them. I don't know what it is. I just don't think they're that good of a team, and they've just kind of squeaked by with these wins, and it's been kind of weird. Like I just don't think Daniel Jones is that guy. They don't have a very good offensive line. I think the Vikings win that like by at least 2 scores. I don't think that's going to be a very close one.
I'm not that confident in the Vikings and their defense. To be honest with you, I think their
They've had some
defense,
shit moments for sure.
that defense, especially these last couple of weeks, have looked like shit.
Are you picking the Giants?
I am.
Damn. All right. That'd be a good one to watch for
Man,
sure.
I'm picking the Giants. I think, granted, Daniel Jones is not like he's not somebody that's going to like you're looking to go and watch him play.
No.
But if he can just manage the game and not make any turnovers, Kirk Cousins is going to make them turnovers. Like it's going to happen.
It goes both
So
ways, right? Like, because the Vikings, they're the same thing as I kind of said with the Bills. Because then there's weeks where they look like the best team in fucking football. So it's like,
yeah,
you know,
but if I'm trending
yeah,
towards what they look like these last couple of weeks, I'm gonna stick with the Giants.
yeah,
Like you kind of go into the playoffs how you in the season, and they haven't looked good.
yeah. Okay. Okay. And then I think 49ers are going to take care of the Seahawks relatively easily. I mean,
It's gonna be
Seahawks are just God, the
big.
49ers are an interesting team, man. It's just so weird to watch them do this without I mean,
Oh,
like it's so bizarre, man.
they're a third string quarterback
I know, man.
is
Fucking
leading to
weird.
probably the most dangerous team in the
Yeah,
NFL right
right. Like easily a top 4 or 5 defense. Amazing O line. I mean, just
now. And weapons all over the place.
oh yeah. Swiss Army
IU,
knives.
McCaffrey, Samuel, like
Yeah. Kittle.
man, they're dangerous. That's a dangerous, dangerous team.
Their fucking fullback is a beast too. I forget that dude's name every time, but he's amazing. Starts with
Oh
like a
yeah,
J. I don't know his name,
yeah.
but yeah, they're everywhere. So yeah, I think that'll be relatively easy. Um,
So that for you, it
dude,
would be that would be for you. It would be Eagles and Bucks.
dude, it's just I don't want it to happen. I think Brady gets to the NFC fucking championship again. It's got another like first year quarterback. I mean, I guess it's in Philly, right? So that helps, but oh my God. If I'm watching that game, like the Eagles can be up 21 going into the fourth, and I'm still not going to be like, we did it. Like, I'm going to just be like sitting at the edge of my seat. We did it last year against the fucking Rams, man. They almost fucking came back. Do you remember that? Like, that was
Yeah, I do remember that.
now, granted, he looks different this year. The team looks different. They just don't look as good. Um, dude, it's just so hard for me to like imagine Philly just running them over. I don't know. You tell me your pick because I don't even know. I can't.
Yeah, so for me, it would be the Giants. But if it was the Bucks, I would still pick the Eagles. Defensively, the Eagles are just
Oh yeah, it will be. I'm stupid. Yeah, because the Giants would be the lowest seed, right?
but that's off of your. I'm going off of your pick.
Okay.
You picked the Vikings. So if we going off of your pick, it
Yeah.
would be the Bucks. So if it was the Bucks and the Eagles, I would for me it would pick the Eagles. I just trust the Eagles defense. And then once Philly gets up, it's been very seldom, if any, that they've given up a lead. So if they get up by 2 scores, unless Jalen Hurts just starts to uncharacteristically turn the ball over, I don't because their defense is top tier. So I don't
Yeah.
think that they beat. Now, with my pick going against the Giants, I'm for sure picking the Eagles.
Yeah, I would pick that too.
They're
Yeah.
just too explosive that the Giants wouldn't be able to manage. So either way for me, it's the Eagles. So you got the Bucks and I got the Eagles going into the championship game.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Bucks. Yeah. It's just
All right. So then for you, it would
so
be Vikings and the Niners.
I'm gonna say the Niners. I think that's gonna be a more game managing game. I think that'll be more of like a battle of defenses and it'll be more low scoring. But God, again, it's so weird just thinking about this team that's got this like unknown quarterback. But yeah, I'm gonna say the Niners do it pretty easily. What how would that
For
work for
me,
you? That would be the Bucks.
it would be the Bucks and the Niners. And see, this is where I think it would get interesting
Yeah, that
because
would.
if I'm not mistaken, didn't they play earlier this year?
I don't remember.
I think they played earlier this year. They did, and the Niners blew them out. And Purdy played that game, and it was in San Francisco.
Hmm.
Um, I think the same would. I don't think they would get blown out like they did because it's 37-5. I don't think it'd be a blowout like that, but I still think it would be by at least like two scores.
Hmm.
But I'm still picking the Niners, bro. So I
Okay.
would have the Niners and the Eagles going into the championship.
And then what from there?
I'm gonna go with the Niners. I think they're gonna go to the championship.
Wow.
I think they're gonna win the
Damn.
Super Bowl. I,
I mean, if they had like a Pro Bowl quarterback, I totally agree. It's just that's so weird. But that just goes to show you how both of us kind of and some of the other people in the league too are just like I'm not completely sold on the Eagles. Like they're definitely a good team, like for sure.
yeah,
Like, but just
yeah.
like I don't know what it is. Like I'm not ready to be like they don't have my like overwhelming confidence in their ability to run the
But I think
table.
for me with the Eagles, I don't think it has anything to do with the quarterback play at all for me.
No, I
I
don't
just think
either.
it's the surrounding. Like I just think the Niners have better weapons surrounding Purdy than the Eagles have surrounding Jalen Hurts.
Right, because their defenses are both elite, and I think that would kind of cancel out. So it'd be like which
Yeah,
offense is gonna prevail.
even though I do think the Eagles have a better secondary than what the Niners do, but
Yeah. Yeah.
um, I just think with the explosiveness of what the Niners bring to the table, I will go with the Niners, man. I just think as far as just putting pressure on the quarterback, like
I'm
what's his
with you,
name is
dog.
like they have the defensive player of the year on their team.
Yeah,
Like Bosa's been wrecking havoc all fucking season.
I agree. I'm gonna go with you. I'd say that the Niners win. And then that leaves us Chiefs and Bills or the Chiefs and Bengals.
So you got between Chiefs and Bills because you picked the Bills.
If I'm doing your scenario or mine, again, this is where it gets tough because this is where the Chiefs defense really comes into play. And like they barely squeaked out a win last year against the Bills and they lost to the Bengals. But like I just have this like thing with Mahomes this year where he's kind of got this LeBron thing going where he's just like willing this team that's not as good as it was, like just based on his greatness. So I think whether it's your scenario or mine, it's going to be a shootout and Mahomes is going to prevail. That's just what I see. I mean, like we saw him last year. It was like 18 seconds was all they had to like, and it's just like that was too much time. Like it's just like he is. Granted, they don't have Tyreek Hill now, but I don't
They
know.
haven't needed him.
I think this is Mahomes' year, man. I think he's
Yeah,
coming with the
I'm
vengeance.
gonna go. I'm picking the Chiefs as well. I just think too many weapons, too many places to go, and the Bengals doesn't have the defense to really keep up. I mean, I granted now I know that they've beaten them the last couple of times, but I
Hmm.
think they'll find a way. They'll find a way to win it, especially being at home. So,
And then it gets
so
interesting because it's a Super Bowl rematch from 3 years ago, whatever it was. But the Niners now have a worse quarterback. Arguably, actually, like not as good of a quarterback as they had. Arguably, we don't really know because this guy's played some good games, but everything else on the team looks better than it was a couple years ago. I mean,
yeah,
defense is just as elite. Now they have even more weapons than they had then against the Chiefs team with like a mediocre defense, a very average offense, and then just a the best quarterback and the best tight end. Like it's like that's so wild, you know?
Yeah, I mean, you look at I think the game they had earlier this year, Chiefs won 44-23. Now, granted, that was at like week 7,
Hmm.
and Garoppolo was playing, um, and they didn't have McCaffrey at the time. This is a tough call.
It really is, man.
It was. I'm gonna go with the Chiefs simply because they have been in that space and they know what it takes, and I think the moment may get to Purdy.
I co-sign on all that, man, because he's played pretty good to this point. But man, to throw a kid like that into a Super Bowl, it's never played. Like that's wild, man. That's you know, it'll be in Arizona, which means, and I can tell you because I've been to a 49ers versus Cardinals games here last season. Like it's going to be majority Niners fans, so it's going to be more of like a home game.
God,
Yeah,
I
it'll
would.
be definitely more of a home game for them. But shit, dude, like that is again like Mahomes and those boys have like been there before. Like you said, Purdy is not. And I could see him making some crucial mistakes in that game that would just completely cost, with
Yeah,
it being
that's what I'm
intercepted.
thinking. I think he's just gonna like. I can imagine like those first like 5 to 6 passes are just gonna be high sailing because nerves are
Yeah,
gonna get you, and like Mahomes gonna get the ball, and it's just yeah. So
right.
I think we both got the Chiefs winning the championship.
I do, man. Yep, I'm with you. That'll put if that happens, that puts Mahomes at what would that be? Two
Two,
rings, his third Super Bowl appearance. How many years is this his fifth year as a starter? I know he was in the league another year, but he was on the bench. Is
yeah,
this his fifth year as a starter? Yeah. So in 5 years, he would have had three Super Bowl appearances.
two
Two,
championships
yeah.
and what, 2 MVPs.
Yeah, if he wins the MVP this year, which I think we think he is, that's pretty
Yeah,
elite, man. That's fucking
really elite.
yeah. We'll see though.
27.
It'll be cool to watch, man. It'll be cool to
Yeah,
watch. Do you remember that thought you said you had before we started that?
yeah. All right, so we talked about teams improving and everything. So now we look at the teams that are in the playoffs. Now let's look at the flip side of that. Record wise, the Bears have the number 1 draft pick. If you're the Bears, do you potentially look at Bryce Young picking him as a number 1 overall pick?
I'm surprised you're saying that because you're so high on Homeboy, but I definitely do, man. I'm not a believer in field. I think he is an elite runner. The football, he did some crazy things, but like then there's games he had less than like 100 yards passing, bro. Like I just do not trust in his ability to throw the ball. So I don't think he's a long term answer. I would go with Bryce Young for sure.
Does he have anybody to throw the ball to?
This is true. I'm not like they're a terrible team. Like don't get me wrong, but I don't know. I have not seen anything from him that's made me think like he's an elite passer. I mean, he looked good in college, but at least this far, this is my thing. It doesn't even look like he's looking to pass. It looks like he drops back and he's just like, "Fuck it, I'm going." It's like,
I mean, the reason why it's not that I'm high on Justin Fields, but I see the potential there, and I see the clusterfuck of a team that's
yeah,
around.
so bad, so bad.
Like he probably doesn't. He probably looks to run because he knows that his offensive line is not going to block long enough for him to even get a chance to even throw the fucking ball.
Hmm.
And then two, he doesn't have any receivers.
I don't even know where you go with that team, man. Because like any pick is a good, but they need linemen. They need like, oh my god, they're so
They
bad.
need like legit. They need to go and get They just need to go from the ground up and build a and start with their old line. Like that's what like if Justin Fields, even if it even if it wasn't Justin Fields and you go with Bryce Young, like your second round pick and everything, like they need to start building at the line and building up that offensive line because it's terrible.
Hmm.
Like he was easily sacked the most out of any quarterback this year.
Yep.
Now, granted, some of that probably was of his own doing, but still, like when dude doesn't have enough time to even just be able um to just see his receivers, like I mean, you look at I just looked at the potential receiving core that he has. He has Cole Kmet. What is it? Darnell Mooney, Equinemius St. Brown. You got the running back David Montgomery, um, Dante Bettis, and then they picked up Chase Claypool.
It's all
So
terrible,
like, but
bro.
they've only had Claypool for like 7 games or whatever. So like, he hasn't really got it, um, acclimated into the rotation. So like, he
Yeah,
don't
but none
really
of those
have.
guys are stars, Mo. Like none of those guys are.
I mean, I think Claypool can be nice. Don't get me wrong.
I think he could be
Claypool,
nice, but could he be a Pro Bowl? Maybe like a
I
couple
think he could be a
years. Like,
Pro Bowler, but like, they got to get him an O line, bro. So I would say if I'm the Bears, I wouldn't. I understand you want the first round pick, and you got to figure out that because maybe you can. It could be he could be a trade asset for a team that also probably needs a quarterback. Right when you look at like maybe New Orleans can probably use him, maybe the Panthers. I
hmm
don't know. It looks like they may have found feel like they felt like they found an option with what's the guy's name? Um, well, I'm drawing a blank on names today. Sam Darnold, and then I mean, there's other teams, but or maybe you trade them to the Texans that could need a quarter that could use a quarterback. So like I think
hmm
there's options, but I wouldn't if I'm the Bears.
You wouldn't
I
go
wouldn't
quarterback.
I wouldn't go quarterback now.
I mean, to be fair to Fields, he hasn't been in the league very long, and the team is terrible. So I mean, like, and because they have so many needs elsewhere, I don't think drafting Bryce Young is a bad move. But I actually, like, upon thinking about it, would probably agree with you. Like, that's not probably the direction I would go if I'm going to keep the first round pick. I'm going to probably use it elsewhere. But is there anyone in the league or in the NCAA that's really like a stud like that? That's like a we need to have them type of player outside of quarterback?
I mean, um,
Like, what would they do? I wonder what direction they'd go. There wouldn't really be a wrong answer because they're so bad. But like,
I think they have to go old line. So if they go like Oluwatimi from Michigan, on the old line,
in which case, you
um,
probably could trade that pick and draft down a
yeah,
little bit
you
and still
just
get them.
pull down and so you can kind of use that as like as a asset because also too if they drive Bryce Young, like that's a different cost to them at the quarterback position compared to like them drafting O lineman. Like that cost is completely different.
Right, right.
So I don't know if it makes sense. So
No, yeah, that'll be an interesting draft. Is it in Detroit or is that next year?
no, I think that is next year. That is not
Okay,
this upcoming year, but the following year. It's in Detroit. So,
that'll be cool. That'll be cool.
but yeah, that was my question I had. So you
Well, we'll
said
see.
Mahomes is your MVP. Are we both in agreement um, that
Justin
Bosa
Jefferson. Oh, for
is
defense,
your
yeah, I'm
favorite
gonna say
player?
Bosa. Yeah, I'm gonna say Bosa for sure. For rookie, I'm gonna say Sauce Gardner on defense. And then I mean Hutchinson's a good pick, but I think
Yeah, Hutch had a pretty solid season, but I'll probably go with Hutch. I think he had 9.5 sacks,
need a
three
lot.
interceptions, three fumble recoveries.
hmm
I would probably go with Hutchinson. Um,
Yeah, I'll say
offensive player,
Sauce.
I think we both kind of just said that we would go with Justin Jefferson,
Yeah,
even
man,
though
absolutely.
Jair Alexander Deer kind of showed him down though.
He did. There's gonna be games like that for everyone, though, man. I mean, he
Yeah,
it's just the nature of the
he would
beast.
ball it out.
1,800 yards. Offensive rookie. I mean, there's a couple. The dude out of the Texans, that running back, he was pretty good. I forget his name, but he had a really good year.
He
God
did.
damn it,
I'm what's name when the guy hurt?
Brees Hall.
Brees Hall.
Yeah, he had a really good start to the season for
Yeah,
sure.
he had a good start to the season before he got injured. Um, I mean, Garrett Wilson had a pretty dog ass year for the Jets.
Mhm.
Um, so I mean,
The fuck is that dude's name? I want to look it up because that's who I'm probably gonna go with. That Texans running back. He played pretty well. Why am I not drawing a blank on his name.
Oh,
Is it Royce Freeman? Who the hell is it?
you talking about Damian Pierce?
Damian Pierce, that's his name. Yeah.
Yeah.
He had a
I
decent
mean,
year.
he almost had a 1,000 yard season. So I think had what's name not got hurt though, Brees Hall would definitely would have won that.
Yeah. In agreement with you.
Yeah,
What about coach of the year?
Oof.
I might go Dan Campbell, bro.
I would be mad at it. I could think you can go with either Dan Campbell or you can go with Brian Daboll because I don't think anyone expected either team to be where they were at. I would only probably say Brian Daboll just because they actually got a chance to make it to the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but either I don't think you can go wrong either direction with those teams.
Yeah. Yeah, both of those would be good picks. I'm with
Yeah.
you. As far as football, I don't know if there's really anything else to talk about. Obviously, we're gonna
Well,
go with.
there's one more thing. We got to talk about what the fuck are the Texans doing?
I mean, well, I don't
Like,
know.
it doesn't make four coaches in four seasons.
Yeah, man, it's not good. And who are they? Did they already sign their new coach, or are they not allowed to do that yet? They're talking about who it's going to be. I
I don't
mean,
know if they've announced anything, but like it's a shit show there. And if you were a coach, would you want to go there?
no, absolutely not.
And then
Fuck
like
no.
not to kind of bring this into it, but like if you're a black coach, do you want to go there?
Yeah, just get fired the next year. Like,
David Culley, Lovey Smith, both of them the last 2 seasons played and knowing that they weren't going to be good and they get fired for no reason.
I mean, how many times have we talked about this, Mo? Like, I that's my biggest pet peeve in pro sports in general is just the scapegoat of the head coach when like you're on an awful team. Like to fire him after a year when you were the worst team the year before. It's like, what did you expect this dude to come in and do? Like, they don't have the players. Like
No play. Don't have the talent, but yet you expect them to work miracles.
exactly. Like if I was being interviewed for a head coach, I would, one of my big things would be like, hey, I'm here to build kind of like what Dan Campbell's all about, like a culture, right? So like if you're gonna hire me, like I need like a 2 to 3 year commitment, like for you to see
Right.
like the improvement I can make, and that might not be in the record, year after year to start. Like I just need you to see the steps we're going to take and the culture we're trying to build, and then by like year 3, if you want to start midway through that season, like evaluating it based on wins, like I get it, but like the first 2 years when you're a team like that, like how the fuck can you like? It's not the coach's fault, man. Your team is terrible.
No, it's not. Especially if like you said, you're void of talent.
Yeah, it's not
If you're
good.
expecting for them, like what were they supposed to do? Take them to the playoffs?
Right.
There was no way that the Texans were going to even sniff the playoffs.
No. Fuck no. They're not next year. Like that team is not going to win. I mean, how many wins did they have? 3?
3?
Yeah. Like it's
Not good.
if they had 6 next year, that would be a miracle. I don't see that happening.
And I understand that like Chicago is like the void of talent, but like I see more promise in Chicago right now than I do with Houston.
Right. I don't see any direction in Houston, like at all.
No,
Yeah.
you don't see it.
Mhm.
So, all right, we can move off the NFL. You want to talk about? We want to talk about the match? We'll talk about the fight.
Yeah, let's do some boxing, and then I don't have a whole lot of time tonight, so we'll cover more NBA shit next pod and stuff like that. But man, I didn't I caught it afterwards. It was did you watch it?
Yes, I did get a chance to kind of catch it. I mean, it was a good fight for a while, but like even his hands, I don't know if people just expect him to have the power that he does.
I think that's what it is. They almost get like shocked by how strong or how hard he
Yeah,
hits.
yeah, because like, and to be honest, it went like, and it was kind of like when you talked about with Wilder, where he hits you and it doesn't look like it's a hard punch, but then you feel it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what happened, where like he punched him, didn't really look like much, but he caught him in the right spot. And what he said, he said he couldn't see.
Yeah. His vision went blurry. It's fucking crazy.
You know what I mean? So like he caught him, but the thing that I was so impressed with is just like he's pretty fucking accurate with his punches.
Mm-hmm. He is.
Like he has a great jab, and it's kind of weird to say because he doesn't have a super long reach,
Not at all. Not at all.
but like his jab and and he has a hell of a fucking uppercut too, bro.
That's his
Like he was
main
a
punch.
couple
Yeah,
of times with the uppercut, but I'm excited to see that fucking match between him and Ryan Garcia, bro.
me
I think
too,
that's gonna
man.
be a hell of a fucking match.
It will. I mean, like just to look at Tank, and it's like he's kind of the complete package, man. Like I know against Rolly, people were giving him shit because he was getting outpointed. That happens to everyone from time to time. But Tank can fight moving backwards and be reactive, or he can move forward like he just did in that fight, and like establish his jab even with that small of a reach, like you said. I
Yeah,
mean, amazing power. Puts punches in bunches. Isn't afraid to get in there and like take shots, which is huge too.
yeah,
Where I don't know, we've seen Ryan get off the canvas and win, but that to me also doesn't prove that Ryan's ready to stand in and like get in a firefight. Like I don't think that's a completely other thing.
yeah.
Because even when he got up and won that fight against Luke Campbell, he still kind of just stood around the outside. He's not like getting on the inside and really
Yeah, he's not gonna fall.
mess it up. Tank doesn't give a
Yeah.
fuck, man. Like Tank is like, let's go.
Well,
Um,
it is, and he can tank. The thing is like, because what's name caught him with a couple of nice shots.
you did.
Like he got caught a couple of times, but he just took it. Like he ate it,
He
and
does. He has
it
a
was
great
like he
chin.
was on phase.
And
So
Hector
like
Garcia, people were giving him like everyone shit, like that wasn't it was a mismatch fight, like whatever, man. Like
he was undefeated.
Hector Garcia is an undefeated fighter. He had 400 plus amateur fights. Like that dude's a fucking boxer, man. Like he's a very
Yeah,
seasoned fighter. He has a lot of power. He just beat who was it? He had beat another unbeaten, really big up and coming contender in that division in 135. So that was a really formidable opponent. And Tank looked really good. And to your point, like Tank can take damage and continue to move forward. I don't know if we've seen that from Ryan yet. Even though he's gotten off the canvas, like Ryan does all his work on the outside, putting punches and bunches and kind of getting out of harm's way. But like if he's in a round where he's getting dogged up, like what's Ryan gonna do? Like, and I
right.
haven't seen him tested like that yet. So
But because the thing is that Davis, his his feel for space, I think, is what really kind of sets him apart.
yeah,
Because even if he's working out from the outside or where he's really dangerous inside, like he gonna touch it.
yeah.
And
His
so I
his
think his
understanding
feel,
of distance is insane.
his like his awareness of just space and how to it, I was just sitting there like, dude is just so pinpoint accurate, regardless of where he's hitting from.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
He's calculative too, man. Like you'll see, it just throughout the progression of that fight, those last two rounds, he really started touching Hector more. Like every punch started, he was touching him, even if he wasn't hitting him hard. And it was like, and the announcers were saying, it's like, okay, he's locking in now, and you can just tell when
Yeah,
he finds the range,
yeah,
he's like, all right, like, and then
yeah,
he becomes more aggressive because he's like, I know I'm touching you now, and it's not going to be
yeah.
much longer. So can he touch Ryan is the big thing because Ryan is really fast and very
He is.
reactive and
He is
longer.
fast. He is. Yeah, he's much longer. I think the biggest thing is like if he can get into him and how Ryan handles that. Like
Mm-hmm.
if he gets in tight and we know that uppercut is not, that uppercut and everything is coming.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
How he's going to handle that, and plus like Tank is more solidly built.
Yes.
Ryan is
Yeah.
kind of rangy and everything. So
The storyline is just so good too, man. Both undefeated, both young. One's like
yeah,
the pretty boy outside flashy puncher. The other one's like fucking criminal record, like from the streets. Like I'm not saying that to shit on him. It's just like it is what it is. He's got
yeah,
that
yeah. That's
perspective of
that's
like,
gonna definitely be the storyline.
yeah,
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like it's like hard nose. Like I mean, it's Pitbull. Like it's gonna be really cool. Like I love like styles make fights, man, and that's like from boxing style and like their outside background. I mean, Ryan Garcia is like a YouTuber, like just completely like people say he's
yeah,
soft, whereas Tank is as hard as they come. So it's like,
yeah, for sure.
oh, it'll be cool, man. It'll be cool.
Yeah,
If it's
I
in
can't wait
April,
for him.
man, we should make that happen. That'd be fucking cool.
If they happen and it's in Vegas, count me
Yeah.
in.
That'll be fucking awesome, man. Goddamn. Speaking of fighting, real quick, man, did you see the Dana White thing with his wife?
Bro, I did want to talk about that. I did see that.
That is
So,
unbelievable,
okay,
man.
we just had to talk about the fact he was talking about like that was the first time. That's not the first time that you've done that. I'm sorry.
Right,
'Cause he ain't
exactly.
just
Like,
he ain't hit her one time. He slapped her twice.
dude, that was so bad, man. It's just
Now,
such a horrible look.
granted, she slapped him first. Okay. But like that's not you. This is how I know he haven't done that. If you get slapped in public, the first thing, your first reaction, especially like if you've never done that before, it's not to like turn around and slap your wife back, especially if you know you're in public.
Yeah, that's a good point, man. Yeah,
So
bro.
like, I don't know.
Dude,
I would.
it's a weird thing of like because I'm with you. Like if it's me, I just have a thing like psychologically I could never hit a woman, right? Like that's just like not like in my DNA. But like also, and this isn't a devil's advocate, like what he did was terrible, but like we got to start getting to a point in culture where we understand too like women can't just go around hitting men either. Like
That
that's
part.
like
That part.
we want
That part.
equality, like it's like that's
Yeah,
assault. That's assault. You
that
can't
is
do
a
that.
thought.
You know what I mean?
That is
Like
a thought. But he can't it, like, but also understand that like this is a spouse, right?
dude, there's no excuse for that behavior
Like,
at
I
all.
think there's a different level. It'd be different like if it was like just some random woman, but this is your spouse,
This is true. That's a really good point.
right? And so to retaliate that way, um,
Did you get my text?
yeah, I got it. You're hilarious.
I was laughing so hard at that. It's like it's a post MMA fight. Fucking Rogan.
So, um, but I mean, I
Uh,
will say it's what I found to be kind of um surprising is the amount of attention that I think this has gotten. But if you compare that to some of the attention where like you've had like some NFL players have gotten in trouble with regards to some domestic violence abuse things, and I don't know if it's gotten the same.
well, he's definitely not going to have the same repercussions. I mean, he's the boss of. He can do whatever he
Right,
wants. You know, like it's not like
right. But it's not the repercussions, but it's the same type of media coverage.
yeah, right. And he kind of
So
went
I
on a
think
media
that's
tour talking about it and shit. I mean, it's
yeah.
changed my opinion, man. I know you already told me like you weren't really a big Dana White fan, and I wasn't a super fan or anything, but I had no issues with him. And now I'm like, damn, bro, that's like you said. There's no way that was the first time you've done that. Like that's like absolutely not.
Because I mean, he went on like, we've known each other since this. We got this many kids together.
What does
Like,
that
what the fuck does
mean?
that have to do? Like,
Yeah,
what? That has nothing to do with the fact that you just slapped the shit out of her, bro.
yeah. Like twice. I think he hit her and hit her again. Like it was
He
like,
hit her twice. Like, legit hit her twice.
my God, bro.
So,
Alcohol does some things to people, man. Like I don't know. That's fucking. That's not an excuse. I look at. You know what's funny? I know older couples that'll tell me they don't drink together. Like maybe not because it'll get physical, but they say the only time we fight or have any type of is if we both get like shitty. So like we know like if we're going out, one's the responsible one and one's the drinker for the night because
yeah.
like man like some people just get violent and it's fucking crazy. If you get
But also, too, if y'all both drinking, some things can go down in the bedroom, though.
yeah, this is very true, right? Loosen up a little bit.
Get things
Wise
popping.
words from Mo Nelson. This is why we're 18 plus
Man,
podcast.